Hello Year 3 and welcome to your next maths lesson. Today we'll continue our work on time and we'll be drawing times onto a clock. But first I wanted to set you a little problem solving challenge. I've written 5 numbers onto the board, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'd like you to give yourselves 5 minutes to try and find as many answers as you can using only these numbers. And for each sum that you write, you can only use each number once. So you couldn't write 2 add 2 because we've only got 1, 2 on the board. So using only these numbers, how many different answers can you make in 5 minutes? I think 20 could be a really good number to try as a challenge. Can you make 20 different answers, 20 different numbers using only these? So for example, you could have 4 add 2 equals 6. So we've made 6, that's one answer we've made. We could have 4 add 5 equals 9. That's a different answer that we've made. How many different answers can you make in 5 minutes? Pause the video and see how many different answers you can make. And remember, you don't just have to add, you can times, you can subtract, you can add and then times, or times and then add or subtract. So use different calculations and different methods. We could have 5 times 6 equals 30, but then we could also take away 2 to make 28. So you can use different calculations. Give yourselves 5 minutes. How many different answers can you make? Very well done if you attempted that task. I look forward to seeing the different answers that you came up with. We're going to continue looking at time today, and so far we've looked at o'clock, half past, quarter to and quarter past, and we're going to continue that today but drawing times on the clock. But first I wanted to have a little bit of a recap. So grab your clock if you haven't got it already. Can you show me 3:30 on your clock? 3:30. In fact, before we do that, let's have a quick reminder. When the minute hand is pointing to the 12, it's o'clock. O'clock, quarter past, half past, quarter to. O'clock, quarter past, half past, quarter to. So do make sure that minute hand is pointing to the correct number. Can you show me 3:30 on your clock? Can you show me 3:30 on your clock? I'll give you a few seconds. Remember, let's get those hands the correct way around. That'll be really important today when we're drawing the times on the clock as well. 3:30 or 3:30. Remember, you can write the answer in numbers as well as words. 3:30 or 3:30. Very well done if you are showing me this time on the clock, 3:30. And today, when you're drawing the times on the clock, I will be quite picky. Do make sure that your minute hand is longer than your hour hand, and the hour hand is halfway between the 3 and the 4. So do try to be as accurate as you can. Can you show me 7:30? 7:30 this time, or 7:30, remember. 7:30 or 7:30 on your clock. 7:30 or 7:30. Very well done. If you're showing me this time, again, the minute hand pointing to the 6 and the hour hand halfway between the 7 and the 8, 7:30, 7:30. Can you now show me 9:15? 9:15. Think where that minute hand needs to be pointing when it's 9:15 something. 9:15 the last hour. 9:15. You can always pause the video if you need an extra few seconds to think about it or find your answer. 9:15. Well done if you're showing me this time. 9:15. This would have been 9 o'clock, and this is 9:15. Or if you were to say that in numbers with digital time, it would be 9, because that's the hour, and the minute is 15, 9:15. Well done if you're beginning to learn both of those ways of reading the time. Can you show me 1:15? 1:15 on your clock. 1:15. 1:15. Well done. If you'll show me this time, we're just past 1 o'clock. 1:15 or 1:15. Remember, 1:15. Now it's getting just a bit trickier. This is the confusing one. Can you show me 1:45? 1:45 or 3:45? 3:45 or 3:45. Those are the same time, just said different ways. Can you show me 3:45? So we've not got to 4 o'clock yet, remember? It's just before 4 o'clock. 3:45. Again, you can always pause the video if you want to give yourself an extra few seconds to think about it. 3:45. Well done if you're showing me this time on your clock. This would have been 4 o'clock. We haven't got to 4 o'clock yet. It's 3:45 o'clock. Or if we were to say it a different way, the hour is still 3 because we haven't got to 4 yet. Even though it looks like it's pointing at the 4, we haven't got to 4 o'clock yet. So it's still 3. 3:45, and that's the confusing bit. 3:45. On the board, I've written a few times, but as digital times, as numbers. Are you able to write any of those times in words? You can pause the video. You can use your clock to help you. You can try and find these times and think about what the time is showing. Is it 1/4, 1/2, or 1/4? And then get the correct hour. Can you write any of these times in words? Pause the video and see if you can do it, and I'll pause my video and add the answers to the board, then you can go through them. Have a go. Can you write any of these times in words? Well done, Year 3. I've added those answers to the board. 6:30 is 6:30, because any time that the minute hand is pointing down at the 30, it's 6:30 something, remember. 9:15, 9:15. 4:30 is 4:30. This was a tricky one. 2:45, just before 3 o'clock. So 2:45. 10:30 is 10:30. 12:15 is 12:15. Well done if you've got any of those. Today, we're mainly going to be drawing the times on the clock. I'm going to write a time, 2:15, and you will have to write the time, draw the time on the clock. And it might be worth using those two colours that you have on your clock for the minute hand and the hour hand. So if it's 2:15, where does my minute hand have to be pointing to? If it's 2:15, where does my minute hand have to be pointing to? It has to be pointing at the 3. So I'm going to draw a nice big hand, because it's the bigger hand, remember, pointing at the 3. And we've just gone past 2 o'clock. So our hour hand, the smaller hand, will be just past the 2. So I'm going to do a smaller hand of the clock, and it's just gone past the 2. And that looks about right. And that's what I will be doing today on today's worksheet. Let's try one more. 4:30. If it's 4:30, where does our minute hand have to point? It has to be pointing right down at the 6. And remember, it's the bigger hand. I will be checking the sizes of your hand on your clock. And if it's 4:30, our hour hand needs to be halfway between the 4 and the 5. Just about that. I know it's not perfect because I've drawn the clocks and had to do a circle myself, but you can see exactly what it is you'll be doing. I have attached 3 sheets. You haven't got to do all 3, maybe try and do 2 of the sheets. It says the time on the clock, and you have to draw the time correctly using those 2 colours, thinking about the size of those hands. And as I said, do think about where that hour hand is pointing. Once you've drawn all of those times, see if you can write the time in numbers as well. So for 2:15, I would write 2:15. And for 4:30, I would write 4:30. Can you write those times on the clock next to it in numbers as well, the digital time? And finally, if you finish all of that, I've also attached a blank clock sheet where you can choose some of your own times to write the time in words or in numbers and then show the time on the clock. You can do some of your own on the blank clocks if you have time. Well done for watching today, everyone. Remember, I will be on Google Meet, so please keep using Google Meet and bring your clock so we can keep checking those answers.